Oh, where did your audience go? Oh, where could these lonely women be? Just 5 short months ago, there was a huge celebration in the mainstream media. After rumors were spreading last summer that ABC was thinking about canceling The View, the Yentas, they held a party in January to celebrate their rating success. Headline at the Wrap: The View hits their biggest monthly audience in 2 years. Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes. During the month of January, the Queens of Bitterness averaged 2.5 million viewers. Now, I will give you a moment to regain your composure. I was shocked when I saw this news. Almost saddened, really. Saddened by the fact that there are 2.5 million lonely women in America desperately searching for companionship, desperately searching for someone, anyone, to share in their lonely existence. I would imagine that it gets old watching rom-coms with your emotional support shovel. Kind of hard for the shovel to pass you a tissue since, it's missing the arms required to do that. These poor women, they turn to the Yentas on The View for companionship. They seek out women who share in their bitterness. The radiance of Sun Hostin brightens their day, if for only an hour. That is the only reason I can think of that lonely women watch The View. They are damn sure not watching for entertainment or, God forbid, factual information. As I was researching ratings this afternoon, I think I might have figured out the reason that ratings were so high in January, then inevitably crashed the past 2 months. But before we get to my findings, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. What do people do every year in January, especially women? When I was growing up, it seemed like every time we reached a new year, my mom was pledging herself to a new resolution. I remember one year my mom claimed that she was going to dedicate herself the entire year to exercising. My dad even went out and bought her a brand new treadmill. Think mother used the treadmill 2 or 3 times, then turned the damn thing into a clothes rack. Now, to her credit, Mom actually stuck to her New Year's resolution this year. She found a diet and she is still committed to it 5 months later. But most people do not stick to their New Year's resolutions. When analyzing these ratings for The View, I'm thinking that hundreds of thousands of women, they made a resolution to swear off men in the new year. This year, I'm committing myself to the single life. I'm swearing off men. Girl power, no more free willy. Let's burn our bras. If you're making a resolution to swear off dudes, what better place to commit your time than the Yentas on The View, the one show that the vast majority of men are allergic to? You could be the most beautiful woman in America if you put on your Bumble profile that, I watch The View every day. My favorite Yenta is the whoopee cushion. Her brand of flatulence is the best I've ever smelled. I don't care how beautiful you are. You could look like Bar Raffaelli. There is no self-respecting dude in this country that is going to swipe right on your profile. Maybe ratings for The View hit multi-year highs back in January because women were committed to their New Year's resolutions. But like most resolutions, this one seemed to vanish with a quickness. According to the U.S. television database, The View averaged just 2.1 million viewers in the last 2 months, 15% decline from their multi-year high in January. Now, in fairness to the ladies, there was a week in April where they only averaged 1.4 million viewers. I would assume they were on vacation that week or getting their Botox refilled. But even with that week removed, the decline is still in the double digits. The View is barely clinging to the top 10 at ABC. They are barely ahead of General Hospital and something called This Week with George Katsopoulos, or George Stephanopoulos, whatever the hell his name is. Now, this ratings decline, it is on par with the general public consensus of The View. If you looked up viewer ratings for The View, individual viewers, they give the Yentas 2.1 out of 10 stars. According to a website called Television Stats, which gives ratings for shows based on viewer engagement, according to this site, The View ranks 748. They are right behind something called American Gods, which hasn't aired a new episode in over 3 years. The engagement score for The View is 0.94, less than 1. Basically, according to this website Television Stats, The View sucks. Believe it or not, there used to be a time when The View was somewhat watchable. When Barbara Walters launched The View in the 90s, this show was actually respected. Back then, The View had prestige. The show didn't feature a flatulating grandmother whose best trick is hiking her leg and torching the audience with her vapid boodle breeze. Back then, dissenting voices, dissenting opinions, they were allowed on the show. The View didn't feature fake conservatives like the great pretender Alyssa the Farrah Griffin. Say what you want about the other ladies on this show, but at least they are open with their devotion to the woke commandments. To me, there is nothing worse than someone like Alyssa the Farrah Griffin, who claims to be something that she is clearly not. When Elizabeth Hasselbeck was on The View, at least she tried to be the voice of reason. She was like the woman with one eye in the land of the blind. In the land of the blind, the woman with one eye is queen. After 10 years of dealing with the stupidity, Elizabeth Hasselbeck tried to quit the show in the middle of a commercial break. But during her decade on The View, at least she tried. Alyssa the Farrah Griffin, she doesn't even try. Son Hostin could be creating stories of mythical racism, and instead of disputing her bullshit, the great pretender will say, "I'm so sorry, O Radiant One. I apologize for all white people in America for our white privilege." There's just no other way to say it. This show is a disaster. The View is so far removed from what Barbara Walters originally created, and we got further proof of just how far removed The View has become a couple of weeks ago when Donald Trump got convicted. If I remember correctly, the Trump verdict, it was announced the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend. Now, normally, the Yentas would take that Friday off. Big Red Joy Behar might go down to the beach in her bikini, immediately clearing the place of toxic masculinity. Son Hostin probably does something fun like raising money for BLM so their founders can purchase another mansion. When the Whoopi Cushion has a 4-day weekend, she spends the entire weekend at the gas station. This time of year, people living in woke cities, they're always concerned with gas rationing, with the looming threat of global warming, or as the rest of us call it, summer. Woke cities, they could fight this looming threat by limiting the amount of gas that you can purchase. Obviously, the Whoopi Cushion can't afford to risk that. She's got to make sure there's enough gas in the tank to spread that boodle breeze. So she spends long weekends at the gas station. But either way, they normally take the Friday before Memorial Day off. But this particular Friday, they decided to show up to work. The Yentas, they were in a festive mood that Friday morning. They were celebrating with the lonely women in the audience. They were thrilled at the possibility that the orange man could soon be in the orange jumpsuit. Before I show you this clip, though, I want to give you fair warning. This clip, it includes a startling admission from Big Red Joy Behar. Matter of fact, I was surprised that the FCC didn't fine ABC millions of dollars for allowing this admission to be spread on public airwaves. Watch the celebration for yourself. Now, keep in mind, some of these women, they are old enough to be grandmothers. Watch for yourself.
Donald John Trump is a convicted felon.
I was at Costco buying, 10 boxes of Keurig coffee, and my watch started to buzz, and I got so excited I started leaking a little bit.
Yay! This is a man who made my life a living hell for 4 years, has made the life of our country a living hell for 6 years, and so he deserves to be accountable. He has been Teflon Don his entire life.
I felt like the Knicks won the tournament. I felt like America won.
Yep.
I felt like New York won. I felt like the Manhattan DA's office won. I felt like I won.
This is not the show that Barbara Walters created. Can you imagine your grandmother going on national television and claiming that she got so excited when Trump got convicted that she started leaking on herself? Then one of the anonymous women on the show, like the rest of America, I can't ever remember her name. If you showed random people on the street her picture, they would think that she played pretend basketball with the other anonymous women in the WNBA dump. But Anonymous Andy claimed, "Yay! Yay! This man made my life a living hell. He's been Teflon Don his entire life. He deserves to be accountable." First of all, Andy, John Gotti was the Teflon Don. Second of all, how miserable can your life be? How bitter can you be? I highly doubt Donald Trump and Anonymous Andrea are hanging out together on weekends. How can a man that you don't even know personally make your life miserable? How can a man that you don't even know have this much of a negative impact on your life? And don't even get me started with Sun Hostin. As you guys know, Sun Hostin is my favorite Yenta, but that's like saying the Lizzo is your favorite girl at the prom when the prom is at an all-boys school. The Lizzo is your only option, just like Sun Hostin is the only logical choice of favorite Yenta on The View. After Trump was convicted, the radiant Sun Hostin said, "I won! I really won!" You won what? What did you win? You're on the worst show on television. No one respects this show. The View is a laughingstock with normal people. The rare occasion when someone like Ted Cruz is actually allowed to appear on the show or is desperate enough to sell books so he appears on The View. Anytime someone with common sense comes on The View, they humiliate you. So what exactly has Sun Hostin won? This show is an absolute disgrace, but give me your thoughts on this. Ratings for The View declined double digits in April and May. What is your reason for the decline? Was January just an anomaly and ratings are settling back towards their average? Second quarter of last year, The View averaged 2.3 million viewers, so either way, ratings still declined this year. All my women out there, what do you ladies find so appealing about The View? I'd really like to know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.